Welcome back to the Viral Hunters channel. First of all, allow me to appreciate all of you who have subscribed to the Viral Hunter TV channel. I appreciate so much. Your subscription matters. And to all of you who have not yet subscribed, please do the same. Also, hit the notification bell so that you get notified of our latest updates or interviews on the platform. Once again, today I'm happy to have our guest who has been here before. But again, due to public demand, people are really so much demanding
Okay.
that we have you on this channel, and that is the reason again why today you're here. And I'm happy for honoring our invitation. Welcome to the Viral Hunter.
Thank you so much, our viewers. I am called Alinda Sise from Herbal Harvest Organic Farm. I'm so happy to be here once again, and I'm so grateful to the Viral Hunter for bringing me to their studio again. And I'm here ready to give all the information you would want to hear about poultry farming. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Sisi. Um, our topic today is it's going to be something which is so common to the all of the farmers out there, and that is about diseases in poultry. Yeah, I'm very sure that as a farmer, as a poultry farmer, we have been affected by diseases, and the reason we have decided again to have you is through your teachings, through your channel, you have had a number of experiences
Yes.
in handling those diseases. You have personally also been affected. So our farmers out there also are facing the same challenges, and others have tried different solutions, but they have not succeeded. So your presence in the studio today is here to help us and everyone out there who have gone through the same challenge. And please, we pray that is the information you're going to give us is going to be helpful. So as we kick off, um, our my first question is: Have you ever, has your farm ever been affected by any form of disease?
Yes.
Okay.
Because with poultry farming, actually it is one of the projects that has so many diseases. Okay, if I may
Yes.
say, okay, poultry farming has so many diseases that affects it, and personally I have been affected before several times, and I've also made losses because of this disease several times.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, what are those common diseases that has affected your farm, and how did you manage?
The first and the foremost, um, Newcastle disease.
Okay.
This is one very common chicken disease. Okay, not only the chicken, but it also affects other types of poultry. It has also affected me so much in the beginning, if I may say, and actually made me to lose over 700 layers.
Okay.
Okay, and then we come to coccidiosis. This one is also very, very common. Okay, I think there is no farm out there that is not affected by coccidiosis. Most of the farms are affected by coccidiosis, especially for those who do the deep litter system. Because with poultry farming, there are different types of systems that you can use. We have the deep litter system, like the one I have. Then we have the cages. Then we have the free range. Okay, so for those birds that are in the deep litter system and the free range are always affected by coccidiosis. And then we also have the worms. You realize that your birds can be affected by worms. Mine have been affected before to the extent that the droppings, you see just worms in the droppings. Yes. And then also I've been affected by the chronic respiratory diseases. When I say chronic respiratory disease, it has so many diseases involved, okay? There's the infectious coryza, there is the normal flu and cough in birds. So I've also been affected by that.
Okay.
Yes. Then also we have the pests. Okay. There are also diseases in poultry farming. I've also been affected by the pest a lot. And currently I've actually been just spraying the birds or dusting them with the fleas. They're so much affected with fleas, which also reduced in production a lot.
Okay.
Yes. Then also other rodents are also grouped under the
Okay.
pest and diseases.
Like the rats.
Like the rats and the dogs and
The
the cats
cats.
have also been affected by those ones.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So you've talked of the most common being the Newcastle disease,
The ones that
the
have been affected with, yes.
The infectious coryza. What did you say again?
The coccidiosis, the infectious coryza, then we have the worms.
And the pests.
And the pests, then the rodents.
Okay.
Yes.
So among those common diseases you have mentioned, could you, yes?
Maybe I can say there are also other common ones that they have not affected me. Okay, because we have the infectious bronchitis, we have the bird flu or the avian influenza, then we have the fall cholera, then we have the fall typhoid, then the fall pox. Actually, the fall pox also has affected me before, and then also we have the gomboro.
Okay.
Yes.
So which of the two out of the diseases you have mentioned, others are so scientific that I'm not even able to repeat. Which ones are the most common?
Okay.
Yeah, that affect almost every farm. At least some two which you feel however much you try, you will not survive. Which one in your experience have you been affected with most?
Let me mention three.
Yes.
We have Newcastle disease, we have the infectious coryza, we have the chronic respiratory diseases,
yes.
Then we have the coccidiosis.
Okay.
Yes.
So how, as a farmer, how do I get to know that this is coccidiosis, this is Newcastle, and this is which one again?
This is the chronic respiratory disease.
Yes.
Okay.
How do I get to know that the sign that will show, okay, this is it exactly?
Okay.
Yeah, without needing to maybe call the veterinary doctor
okay.
or look for you or anything. Yes.
Okay. Now, with the coccidiosis, when it gets worse, the blood will start dropping. The poop will be bloody.
Okay.
Okay, the bloody diarrhea.
The feces.
The feces.
Okay.
Okay. Now that is when in a severe case, that is coccidiosis. And then with the Newcastle disease, you will see twisting of the neck. Okay. The bird will be twisting the neck.
That's the
Newcastle disease. And then also, if the birds are laying, you will also experience it in their eggs. The eggshells will be very soft. Then some of the eggs will be so deformed. The shape is not irregular shape. That is Newcastle disease. Okay? Then you also see the brownish diarrhea. Okay? That's also Newcastle disease. Then with the chronic respiratory diseases, there are so many signs, okay, because it entails so many diseases in there. When we say the chronic respiratory diseases, okay, you will notice the birds are wheezing, the birds are coughing, okay, the birds when they are breathing, they open the mouth. You will realize the bird's head will be swollen. You realize there will be nasal discharge. Even sometimes the eyes will be having tears. That is chronic respiratory diseases.
Okay.
Yes.
Now,
but as you do the project, you get to know them.
No. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with experience.
Yes.
Now,
experience.
Again, just like in humans, I know that if I have cough, maybe it is caused by its infection, caused by bacteria. If I contract maybe say bilharzia, I mean so diarrhea. I also know there's some infection or some diarrhea. Some diarrhea. I mean some bacteria which has caused it. If I get broken in the legs, I know it's an accident. Maybe a motorcycle has knocked me. Now, among these diseases you have mentioned, the coccidiosis, the chronic respiratory diseases, and the Newcastle. What are the causes what are the causes of diseases? Yes, what are the causes? And can those causes be mitigated or prevented so that my birds or my farms is totally clear? I can go throughout the cycle until I sell them as long as I'm able to avoid the cause. Is it possible? Yes.
So one by one, or I can generalize.
You can generalize.
Okay, if you look at coccidiosis, basically it is brought by pouring a lot of water inside the chicken house.
Okay.
So you realize that when the water mixes with the feces, there's a bacteria that develops there that will cause the coccidiosis on the birds. Okay? Because these birds keep on also pecking the same dirty things. So you must avoid water overpouring in your chicken house. And you should avoid the dropping to stay in the chicken house for quite long. That is what brings about coccidiosis. Okay. Then we talk about Newcastle disease. This is a viral disease. It is brought by a virus. Okay. So for those who are not using the herbal remedies, or if
So
you're
it's
not,
more of a cough or flu, because flu in humans is a virus. It's a viral infection.
not basically flu, but the signs are a bit different. Also it has those are some of also the signs. You will see the birds also having some flu and diarrhea and coughing. But the major sign, you will see a bird twisting the neck, then the dropping, then it shows in the eggs. Okay, like I've said before. So it is a viral disease. Okay, so for those who are not using the herbal remedies or they are not consistent on herbal remedies, we advise them to vaccinate against this Newcastle disease. Okay, but then you have to avoid free entry movement into the chicken house or into the farm by different visitors or so many other birds. When you bring other birds from other places, you always have to first quarantine them and treat them with our herbal remedies. Okay, that will at least protect your birds from getting this Newcastle disease. Then, of course, congestion in the chicken house also help the spread to be so rapid. Okay, so that is Newcastle disease. And then when we come to the chronic respiratory diseases, okay, basically it is caused by the dirt and overcrowding in the chicken house. That's why we say the chicken house should be well ventilated, should be clean enough. The droppings must always be removed between 4 to 6 months. And we should make sure that
4 to 6 months or 4 to 6 days?
Months for the deep litter system.
Okay.
Yes, because we always put the bedding there. Now, like me, I use the coffee husk. Some people use the rice husk. Some people use the wood shavings. So within 4 to 6 months, you're supposed to remove those, the litter and replace it.
Okay, all the coffee husks or
yes,
all the maize.
mixed with the dropping. You must remove it out and replace with the new ones because. And even when the chicken house it is so dusty, because by that time it will become so dusty on condition that water is not overpowering there, so it will become so dusty, which also brings this chronic respiratory disease and affects the respiratory system. So those are some of the causes of these chicken diseases. Yes, but the major way you can prevent these chicken diseases is through biosecurity. That is all. Through biosecurity and giving them the herbal remedies.
Elaborate again on biosecurity.
Biosecurity, it has so many. There are so many measures you can provide biosecurity. So many ways of biosecurity. The first one is to put a foot bath inside your chicken, like in front of your chicken farm or in front of the chicken house, whereby if someone is entering there, they first disinfect their feet, just like you see in my farm. You first have to disinfect your feet before you enter inside the chicken house. But for some big farms, you find that even you have to change the clothes if you're entering that farm. Okay, and then also another way is by disinfecting equipment all the time. You keep on disinfecting the equipment, disinfecting the chicken house. That is what we call biosecurity. That is why you see most farms, they do not allow so many visitors to go inside their chicken farms. Because with these chicken diseases, mostly it is through their droppings, even through the feathers. Because if you step on a dropping of another chicken outside that is sick, okay, maybe a chicken that has Newcastle disease, and you step on the dropping and you just come direct inside my chicken house, definitely the Newcastle disease is already transferred inside my farm. So that is how the birds get the diseases. So biosecurity is very, very important. And then also you must make sure that you give them these herbal remedies, because with the experience of using the herbal remedies, at least it has made the birds to be so disease resistant. Yes.
So it strengthens the immunity.
It strengthens the immunity, yes.
Okay. We have had scenarios whereby epidemic comes and destroys almost all the animals or all the birds in an area or in a farm, at least in the local chicken. We grew up while seeing that. Do we also have such a case of poultry epidemics that can come as a wave and destroys all the birds in a certain season in the poultry farming, specifically in the layers which you are dealing with, which you're handling right now?
With this, with the exotic birds, I've not heard of an epidemic recently, but I've understood that some years back there was avian influenza or bird flu that affected so many birds. And then recently, that was some last year, I had so many farmers complaining about the infectious coryza, okay? So that means there was that outbreak, but not direct, because we always do so many things to protect our birds from getting those diseases. You know, like in the village, the birds are always left in a free range. They are not cared about. They move the way they want. But you know, with this exotic farming, let's say with the layers and the broilers and maybe the improved breeds, okay? Birds are always confined in one place and always taken care of them like the way it is supposed to be. So you realize even when there is an outbreak, your birds, if you're taking care of them well, you might not get that epidemic affecting your birds. But somehow last year, as I had so many farmers were complaining about the infectious coryza.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you. If I have my birds, and assuming the bird gets infected by one or any of the diseases you mentioned, and unfortunately, I try and doesn't work out and the bird dies. How do you dispose such a bird? Do you eat it, or what do you do? How do you dispose the dead birds?
Well, some of these poultry diseases also affects the human beings, especially if you consume it or if you don't handle the bird well when it is sick. So in most cases, I either dig the hole down and bury it, or I burn it, because it is not so healthy to eat some of those birds when they are sick. In fact, when some of these chicken diseases affect the birds, even the meat, even the eggs, we are not advised to consume.
What about if I boil it very deeply after it dying? Can it kill away the virus and I just consume without any problem?
Not
Should
really.
I bury away the meat? Or?
You should not consume it. Just generally, you should not eat it.
No, okay.
You must either bury it or burn it.
Okay. So the message out there is,
please let us not consume sick birds,
okay,
or the birds that have died when they are sick.
Okay.
Yes, let us not consume it.
We throw it away.
We dispose it appropriately.
Okay.
Yes, because if you just throw it anyhow, the disease which is there can still transfer, or it because some of these chicken diseases they stay in a particular environment for quite a long time.
Okay.
They can even stay for a year.
Okay.
Yes. So that is why if your birds are affected and you decide to wipe away the flock, let's say you sell it off after they've gotten somehow well, you're supposed to take some time without bringing the birds inside that particular chicken house. You must first keep disinfecting the chicken house and leaving it for some time, because if you introduce new birds there, they are likely also to be affected by the same chicken diseases, because some of these diseases stay for quite some time in an environment.
Okay.
Yes, so that's why you must dispose those birds very, very well.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much. We viewers, we're about to enter into the next session of this interview, but please, we still have a few more minutes to go. You have okay, particularly, have you ever suffered any of this epidemic where it has swept off your farm and all the birds died? Or you've never?
When I just started, I told you I was affected by Newcastle disease, of which I lost almost 700 plus birds. But I didn't. It was so unfortunate. But I didn't finish the whole flock, because those birds were quite many. I think they were around 2,500 birds, because that particular room that was affected, there was 1,200 birds. Then I had another 300. Then I had another 1,000. But all that they were almost in the same location.
Okay.
That is why we are advised, when you construct your chicken house, at least the next house should be 10 meters away from there should be 10 meters away from each other.
Okay.
Yes, to avoid some of those things. But I've never been affected like that, like the whole flock is swept away. but at least half of it was taken.
Okay, that was so
That was so
unfortunate, and
yeah.
sorry for that. We pray it doesn't happen
No,
again,
it will never.
and also shouldn't happen to any of our farmers out there.
Amen.
Now, in our previous interview, you emphasized so much about the herbal remedies. Even in your explanation, you've been talking about herbal remedies,
Yes.
how it has helped you manage to build strong immunity for your birds,
Yes.
and then also to resist most or almost all of those diseases. And in which a case in point, it looks as if most of the farmers there, that might be the way to go. So, being an expert in the area of the herbal remedies or the herbal solution, in your experience in using the herbal medicine, in the years you've been taking care of these birds, or in the way you've been in the poultry farming, which ones specifically have you? Okay, which disease has had a repeated occurrence so much in your farm? For example, in a year, it has happened more than once or twice or thrice compared to all the other diseases, and you have successfully handled using the herbal remedy.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, well, with this particular flock, I started giving them these herbal remedies when they were still young. So ideally, I do not have any diseases that disturb me so often. But however, I can give some of the remedies for some particular diseases that has worked for me in the beginning and has also worked for so many farmers out there that have testified in my channel. Okay, some have even called me and appreciated me. Okay, now we have the worms. The worms, we have to keep deworming these birds against these worms every month with the herbal remedies. Okay, if we do not deworm these birds, now for us who have the deep litter system, you realize that their droppings even change, they even reduce in production, their appetite even go down, a bird might get thin and even dies because of these worms. Okay, and a bird is so stressed. So I've always treated them every month with the worms. So I normally use charcoal. I pound it very well or grind it very well. Mix with the, sometimes I can mix with aloe vera gel, or sometimes I can mix with ginger, or sometimes I can mix with garlic, and give these birds at least for 3 to 5 consecutive days every month. Okay? That helps a lot in the worms. Even in any kind of diarrhea. If you see in your farm, you just give that combination. Okay?
Aloe vera, charcoal.
Charcoal is the main thing.
Aloe
Then you
vera.
can put aloe vera if you can't get garlic. Then you can put ginger if you can't get the aloe vera.
Okay.
You can mix any of those.
You either mix charcoal with ginger or charcoal
with aloe vera or charcoal with the garlic.
Okay.
Another thing that you can also deworm with your birds is the papaya seeds.
Okay.
It is very, very good. Actually, very soon, I'm going to use it for deworming my birds.
Okay.
That one you can also mix with garlic and give to your birds monthly for 3 to 5 consecutive days.
Okay, the papaya seeds.
The papaya seeds.
So that one is also going to help in the worm.
In the worms, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so,
then
so how do you mix the papaya seeds? Do you dry and pound it?
The papaya seeds you dry and pound it.
Okay.
Yes.
And you give them as powder, or
you give them in
water?
the drinking water.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can also mix in their feed. But normally I like to give in the
papaya,
drinking water. The pawpaw. The pawpaw.
Okay.
Yes. Some people call it papaya. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when we come to the Newcastle disease, I've also treated it before.
Yes.
Okay. Because it is now 8 months plus. I've not vaccinated my birds because initially I was doing vaccination. Okay. So I've not vaccinated these birds almost for 8 months, coming to 9 months.
And they're fine.
And they're fine because with the Newcastle disease, you have to keep vaccinating these birds even when they are old.
Okay.
Every 8 weeks, you have to keep vaccinating the birds.
Okay.
But I did not vaccinate these birds, and I think 3 or 4 months ago, I started noticing some signs of Newcastle disease, of which even I talked with people in my channel. So with that, you can mix aloe vera gel with the garlic, and you can mix with the neem leaves or moringa leaves. You can pound all this together and also giving the drinking water at least for
You
7
said aloe
consecutive
vera
days.
gel.
You scoop the aloe vera gel, you mix there with garlic.
How does aloe vera gel look like?
When you cut inside the aloe vera, that whitish
Okay.
slippery thing,
Okay.
slimy thing, it is the gel, okay, inside there.
Okay.
And then also with the what? With the neem leaves
The neem
or the
leaves,
moringa.
The moringa.
Yes.
Okay.
You just mix all together.
So it's
and
either
drink
the
that drinking water.
moringa or the neem leaves. One of them.
One of them, if you can get.
Okay.
Yes. And you give for 7 consecutive days.
Okay.
And then when we come to infectious coryza, it also affected me, but I managed it. This one is also deadly, like the chronic respiratory disease, let's say general like that.
Yes.
You will get turmeric, okay, or the binzari in the local language.
Okay.
The fresh one, you'll get ginger or tangawuzi. You will get garlic or tunglusum. Then you will get the pepper,
Okay.
the chili pepper. You will blend all this together and mix in that drinking water for 7 consecutive days.
Okay.
And with all these treatments, when a bird is too weak, you must give that bird forcefully. Just get a syringe and give that bird forcefully morning and evening, morning and evening.
Okay.
Honestly, your birds will get fine. So I've treated three diseases.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, Madam Sise, the way you have explained is so comprehensive.
Okay.
And I'm happy our viewers out there are so happy, and most of them have really understood. So for today, as you're preparing to go and do another treatment, give another herbal treatment to the bird, which one specifically are you going to treat today?
Okay.
Yes.
Today, I'm going to treat asthma in poultry farming.
Okay.
Okay. And we are going to use only 2 herbal remedies. We are going to use garlic and we are going to use ginger.
Okay.
But the way we are going to prepare it matters.
Okay.
Someone might wonder, do asthma also affects the poultry? Okay.
Okay.
Now, most of these poultry diseases, the first signs that they show is like the asthma signs. Okay. You realize most of the diseases come in a way that the first signs the bird will show is wheezing, coughing, rattling sounds, nasal discharge. The head will be very swollen. So once you see those signs, this is the first aid that you first give the bird before you start running up and down, calling CISE or texting CISE or calling the veterinary doctors. This is the first herbal remedy you give your birds.
Or calling me.
Or calling you.
Viral hunter.
Yes, the viral hunter. So this is the first aid you will give the birds at least for 5 consecutive days. Then you will see the changes. If it persists, then that is when you will go on and mix other concoction that I've been discussing in my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
So let's go and prepare and treat our birds. So I told you that we are going to today use only 2 herbal remedies. We are going to boil it very well. I'm going to show you. And then it's the one we are going to use for asthma in poultry farming. So we are going to get only, in 1 liter, you will get 3 cloves. When I say 3 cloves, I mean like this. So you're going to get these 3. And then around 2 inches of ginger. We shall pound it first. Then you will boil in the 1 liter and give it to your birds. Okay. And you can add on the measurements depending on the condition of the birds. If the birds are too sick, you can add on its size. Okay. But if the birds are not yet too weak, you can do the measurement the way I have said. So that is what we are going to do today. Okay. So and the beauty about it is that you can store this one, even if you don't put in the freezer, you can store it very well and you can use it later. So we are going to first leave it to cool, then we shall sieve it. Then we are going to serve it to the birds.
Welcome back to the Viral Hunters channel. First of all, allow me to appreciate all of you who have subscribed to the Viral Hunter TV channel. I appreciate so much. Your subscription matters. And to all of you who have not yet subscribed, please do the same. Also, hit the notification bell so that you get notified of our latest updates or interviews on the platform. Once again, today I'm happy to have our guest who has been here before. But again, due to public demand, people are really so much demanding
Okay.
that we have you on this channel, and that is the reason again why today you're here. And I'm happy for honoring our invitation. Welcome to the Viral Hunter.
Thank you so much, our viewers. I am called Alinda Sise from Herbal Harvest Organic Farm. I'm so happy to be here once again, and I'm so grateful to the Viral Hunter for bringing me to their studio again. And I'm here ready to give all the information you would want to hear about poultry farming. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Sisi. Hello, our viewers out there. Thank you so much for watching this till the end. That is all we had for you for today. And again, once again, for all those ones who have already subscribed, please subscribe. And I appreciate all of you who have subscribed. Kindly tune in for our next interview. Thank you so much, our guests, for the day. And thank you for the information that you've given out there. Until next time, bye bye.
Thank you.
See you.
See you.